Hey everybody, this is Mr. Domer, hanging out here in the Tech Ed wing of Watertown High School. It's been a while since I've talked to many of you, so I just wanted to do a quick virtual update of all of the great things we've accomplished and done in the last year of 2020. I know many of our local industry partnership team members have not been in our walls since last February or March, but there's been so many cool things that we've been doing that I thought it was worthwhile putting this video together to show you some of the stuff. One of the first things and most recent updates we've done is right around me. We finally got up the new donor wall and Skills USA Wall of Fame outside of the Tech Ed room up on the walls. These plastic gears that you can see all around me and on the wall, we've machined right here in the metal shop out of some 1/2-inch plastic sign material on our Haas CNCs. Students last school year had designed them in CAD and Mastercam, and then this last couple of months I've been running those gears and getting them put up here with some alumni help. We finally finished off the new donor wall and Skills USA wall. I'm really excited to finally have something on the wall that hopefully is going to last 20 years and be pretty easy to interchange and move around the inside stickers as we need to over the years to come. The other exciting thing is we are a little bit interactive on the walls. I wanted to take advantage of these gears and I made a couple of them on the center board spin, which will be fun for people to come up and just, fidget with these. They are not completely done. As you can see, the board itself behind me is not done. We'll be making a sticker that goes into these two slots eventually. But for the most part, our sponsors are up. Our Skills USA winners are up. All of those recognition pieces are a permanent legacy here in Tech Ed at Watertown High School. So hopefully the next time you get inside our walls, you can come down to the West Wing and check this out. Maybe see yourself on the wall as we speak. One of the other things we've been spending a little bit of time over the past couple of years talking about is marketing. And we've had a TV up in the end of the green hallway for every student walking up and down the hallway to see. Well, we finally put up a TV in almost every Tech Ed room as well as the hallway. We're using Raspberry Pis to network and control the TVs so that they can turn on and turn off during the day as needed, and they can play the different loops that we have on there for screens. We can either market Skills USA or market Tech Ed or whatever we want to put on there. But we've got those TVs spread out now all around the Tech Ed area, not just in one or two spaces. So any student in a Tech Ed room, for the most part, is getting this marketing here at the high school. So we're really excited to finally have that up and moving and rolling to be using. As we step into the shop a little bit more, we used some Perkins grant funding this year. We actually asked for it at the end of last year so that it would be in the rotation. And the Perkins grant funding is going to be replacing the first 2 welding booths to be the same welders as the other 12 booths. When we first put all the money into the welding area in 2018, we had pretty new welders in those first 2 booths, Eaton 1 and Eaton 2, so I didn't really think about replacing those when I bought all the new welders. But as I've been finding in our basic level welding class, the students don't like to go in those first 2 booths because it's different than all the other welders. I got to spend more time training them differently than the rest of the class, but they're still great welders. So through the Perkins money, we're going to be putting in the same welder as the rest. And then through a large local family donation made to Tech Ed, we're very appreciative to have, we're going to use some of that funding as well, as you can see, to purchase a cart to put those welders on that are coming out of those first 2 booths. Because we don't want to get rid of those welders. We're going to turn one into a flux core dedicated welder and another one just into another MIG welder that can move around the shop. So we're going to use that funding to help purchase some carts to make those welders still usable. So we're really excited to make those welding updates. Through that large family donation we also received, we were also able to purchase a whole bunch of welding PPE. Right now, this trimester specifically during COVID, of what we've got going on here with social distancing and all this and all the precautions we are supposed to be taking, I didn't want to be sharing welding helmets, sharing gloves, so we were able to purchase enough welding helmets and gloves that every student in our welding classes right now has their own to use during the day for this trimester. Which is interesting because we have 3 welding classes in the shop at one time right now. Our welding numbers are booming so much. It's just amazing to have that situation happening. And one of those things we needed to take care of was PPE. So thanks to that family donation for that to happen. We also used some of those funds to purchase 5 new 3D printers. We've been using some mono-price printers for the last 5-6 years, and they're okay printers. They're cheap, which is why I've been buying them. I can have an army of them. But we have been doing a lot more maintenance on them this last 2 years than we were a couple of years ago. So we're switching out to pick up some Prusa printers, a little bit more expensive, but my hope is that they're going to take less maintenance and we can use them more, and hopefully we can get 1 or 2 of those spread out into an elementary school as well once we get them assembled here. So as I mentioned, last February, March was the last time we had the partnership team in here. Some of the exciting things that were able to happen in the spring that probably wouldn't have happened otherwise due to budgets, we were able to purchase our second new LeBlond metalworking lathe at about $24,000 because there was funding left over as we wrapped up the school year last year in spring of 2020 that we could pool those funds together to purchase that large piece of equipment. Normally we wouldn't have had that ability to do that, but we now have 2 brand new LeBlond lathes in the metal shop. So that's exciting. We're hoping to continue on. One of the goals here as we're moving forward is 2 more metalworking lathes, replace some of our metalworking mills, and work on that manual side of equipment. But I'm excited to cross off the list 1 more manual LeBlond lathe. I hinted to this in curriculum a little bit. We added, as you know, last school year for this school enrollment, a Welding 2 course. We pitched it to the school board last year. We made out the proposals. There were so many students taking Welding 1. We wanted to offer a dual credit Welding 2 course. We were able to pull that off, and we actually had 65 students sign up for Welding 2 this year. So we're running 5 sections of Welding 2 this year between the 3 trimesters. We had 3 shielded metal arc welding courses and 2 MIG welding courses going on for 65 students to be taking those. In fact, we have 174 students taking manufacturing courses as a whole this school year, or signed up for courses this school year, which is just a phenomenal number for students coming down to the tech ed area for manufacturing. We do have kind of a hill or a mountain to deal with here coming up forward. Our engineering numbers are definitely struggling. As the manufacturing numbers are rising, our engineering numbers have been declining. You know, we've had conversations over the years that we're always dealing with the same pool of students, trying to recruit them into these different classes. We've got less than 40 students taking an engineering course this school year, and that is definitely a struggle that I've been trying to wrap my head around, how we can work with that number to fix it or improve it or change it somehow so that we can start either recruiting those kids down or encouraging those manufacturing kids to be stepping over the line into the engineering classes. We've always been pushing our engineering students to take manufacturing classes, and that has clearly been working over the years. But now we maybe need to take a different sidestep and start pushing them back into engineering too. But that's definitely an area that we're going to be working on. Next year, because of all those manufacturing numbers, we have a Welding 1 and 2 Welding 2 courses, but we only have 1 Machine Tool 1 course for the kids in machining. So we're actually implementing a Machine Tool 2 for CNC and a Machine Tool 3, hopefully for some BattleBot action again, in next year's course book for students to be signing up for. As we know, the engineering numbers are struggling, so our SIM course, which is the CNC course, is not running because the engineering numbers aren't there for it. So we're kind of making a different track for those students to get into those CNC side, and that's through the Machine Tool Metal Shop classes. So might not be as far as we normally get with SIM because that course is focused just on that content, and the kids have already had a CAD class coming into it, whereas the Machine Tool 2 students may not have had CAD coming in. So we are going to have to concentrate on the basics more to get the students to where they need to be to run that equipment. But I am excited to have on the course books Machine Tool 2 and Machine Tool 3 for students to sign up for. We are keeping SIM on the course book, but we're not making it an offering for next year, hoping that the Machine Tool 2 and 3 can kind of take off, and maybe that's the next direction we start looking at for curriculum for next year. And probably lastly, as we wrap up here this update for 2020, we spent a lot of time talking about this last school year. I spent a lot of sweat of my own time getting that up, but I am super pumped to say that we moved in to our new storage addition, the garage, in March of 2020. Just as everything was shutting down, we had basically just opened up the doors. We started throwing stuff into the garage, and then we kind of walked away for a while. Came back over the summer, and we spent a lot of time inside of the garage organizing it, getting pallet racking, labeling things, throwing out old stuff, making homes for new stuff. I'm really excited as we walk around the metal shop itself. It's so open now. We got the stuff, the clutter out of the way. We've done a lot of cleaning as well. But the projects that we're always working on now have a home in the garage out of the way. So though the garage may be full, which is its purpose, the metal shop now is open. So we can walk around. We get that really nice feeling as we're working in the class, working in the lab, that we're not always stepping over stuff, stepping over projects. We have a place for things to go. So although that came with an $80,000 price tag thankfully through the Act 59 funding in about a 4 to 5 year period is what we're paying that off. The district actually fronted the funds, as we've talked about many times. And then as those Act 59 dollars come in, we've been paying off the bill. So hopefully by this June, we'll be able to pay the final bill off, and that thing will be paid for, done, officially, and behind us. So I'm really excited to finally have that storage space in here and just have all these different projects a place to go. Students have been using this space very well. In general, this school year, yes, has been hectic so far. We started out in September virtually. We worked into a hybrid method where we were half the kids in the building. We went in somewhere, I don't even remember anymore, October, November. We tried to go full face-to-face, and that didn't last too long before we went back to hybrid. We've been hybrid since November sometime, I think now, and we're going to be hybrid for a little while here after Christmas break too. It's maybe not ideal to be hybrid, but it's way better than virtual. I know that I don't speak for every teacher and every educator everywhere. Obviously, I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for TechEd here in Watertown. Hybrid is way better than the virtual method, where we got the kids, half the students in the building at any given day. So the shops are half full, but the kids are in the shops. We're welding, we're doing woodworking, we're doing graphic communications. We're doing all these things that we need to do hands-on in the facilities with the students, and they are still getting access to that stuff. I do hope at some point we can get to full back face-to-face and kind of be back to normal, but you know, who knows what that new norm is going to be. We're all working that out. But at least with the hybrid model, students are in the shops and they're doing stuff. So I'm happy for that as we move forward. Our Skills USA program is booming. We've got more students in the middle school skills than we had last year for this year already. Our high school skills is over 20 students in the program. Our super mileage cars are being built. Urban search and rescue robots are being built. We got all these students still coming in on Wednesdays and throughout the time they can, using precautions, but they want to do this hands-on stuff, and we're here for them to do that. So again, thank you very much for all the support you've been providing me, especially over the past 15 or so years, and as we move into the year 2021. I know I have not been communicating very much with you the past year here, but I promise we're still doing great things. We got a lot of great stuff in store for us as we move forward, and hopefully we can get back to that normal support network, start those conversations, and keep pushing this program forward strong with your help for the sake of our students here in Watertown High School.